It is time for yet another exciting episode of
How's the Market?
Where I'll get you up to date with what's happening in our housing market here in Brevard County and also the Cocoa Beach area. If you've been sitting on the sidelines waiting for the housing market to crash, I am seeing signs of this happening in at least one sector here in Brevard County, which I'll be breaking down towards the end of the video. But first, my name's Larkin, and I'm a real estate agent here on the Space Coast. And when I'm not making videos like this one, I help people buy and sell real estate. Whether you're moving next week, next month, or next year, I am certain that you have questions, and I love answering these questions. We should probably schedule a call. I'll have a link in the description to my calendar below, and I'll also have my contact information as well. Just wrapping up the month of November, we are seeing our active inventory continuing to rise. We're at over 3,600 properties available right now in our MLS, which is up from 3,400 this past October. Now, inventory usually rises this time of year, and at the rate that it's rising right now from October to November, I'm not terribly alarmed with. It's actually in line with what we'll see in a typical year, the last couple months of the year, and even beginning the new year as well. Yes, these numbers are significantly higher than where we were last November in 2022. It's just another indication or trend showing that we're getting away from that hyper seller's market that we've been experiencing in 2021, 22. The number of closings that we had in November, these are also trending down from what we saw earlier in the year, which is, again, in line for what we typically see November, December, and into 2024 is what I'm anticipating as well. This is back-to-back months of less than 1,000 closings that's happening, which is something we normally don't see in October or November, but it's in line with what we saw October and November in 2022. And for December coming up, I'm anticipating seeing another 1,000 closings, give or take. Just like our active inventory is rising, our sales are kind of settling in. Again, these are trends that we're used to seeing ending in a year and getting ready to start the new year. I recently found this gem on a computer that was cleaning up, and it's sales trends from 2011 and 2012, which 2011 was our last year of bad real estate from the Great Recession of 2008 and 2009. And 2012 was we were transitioning into the current seller's market that we're in right now that we've been experiencing ever since then. We were still dealing with the foreclosures and a whole slew of short sales, but this era was the bottom of that particular real estate market. Active inventory got as high as 5,600 properties. Closings got as low as 530 properties per month. And we averaged 745 properties closing every month back in this era. The month supply got as high as over 9 months supply of inventory for sale. And looking closer at this chart, you can see the summer of 2012 is when we transitioned back to the seller's market that we've been experiencing for the last 10, 11 years. So our current market, even though we are transitioning, it's not a bad place. Our current month supply is at 3.74 months, which is still considered a seller's market. Remember, a balanced market is between 4 to 6 months supply. A seller's market is anything under the 4-month supply, and 6 months or more is considered the buyer's market. Ending 2023, beginning 2024, I do anticipate inventory still continuing to rise some, sales maintaining where we're at, maybe a little higher, maybe a little lower, but I'm not going to be surprised to see a 4-month supply beginning the new year. But once our market kicks in gear from March through the summertime, we'll be back in the under 4-month supply is what I'm anticipating. And really, this market is transitioning back to what we were used to see in pre-pandemic as like we saw in 2018 and 2019. Something I'm seeing that I just think is crazy. It blows my mind with things slowing down like they have been compared to what we've seen in the past is what's happening with our average sales price and our median sales price. You can see that we're still trending up over last year with what the average prices are, and we're trending up with what the median prices are compared to 2022 and 2021. With the interest rates pulling back a little bit and a little bit more of a buyer demand, I see us continuing in this seller's market that we've seen really since 2012. And if you're sticking around in this video to hear about what sector I'm talking about that could be in trouble, I'm talking about the condo market that is beachside, all of the condominiums in any of our beachside communities, and I'm focusing specifically on Cocoa Beach and Cape Canaveral right now. Our active inventory of the condo market in Cocoa Beach, Cape Canaveral is rising a lot. We're up 75% since the beginning of the year. Current active inventory numbers is at 233 properties available. And we'd have to go back to November, December 2018 to where we've seen our inventory actually this high for our condo market in Cocoa Beach and Cape Canaveral. We're averaging 70 or 80 new condominiums coming on the market every single month, and it wouldn't surprise us seeing breaching the 275 active condos for sale once we get through the month of January in 2024. Looking at the condo sales for this year, it's been relatively flat, kind of subpar. Granted, we're averaging 50 to 60 properties in the spring and the beginning of the year. But here in November, we only had 27 condos sell. Compare this to what we saw in 2018 and 2019, where we were averaging 50 or more condos every single month closing. That's just not happening in today's real estate market. So why are we seeing this slowdown in condominium sales here beachside? Could be price. I think it really is tied to what's happening with the condo association fees. We've been seeing dramatic increases over the last 2 years. It was pretty common to see condo fees under $500 a month, and now the new norm is $600, $800 or more for condo association fees, and this kind of rise is affecting people's budgets. Part of the reason for the increase in the condo dues is what's happening with our insurance and the master policy that they have to have in place to cover the complex. If these premiums are going up 40 or 50%, that's going to have a direct correlation with what's happening with your monthly condominium dues. There's also new legislation that's been passed that are requiring condominiums to become 100% funded on their reserve items. So if they didn't have the money in the reserves or budgeted to replace the roof, to paint the building, to redo the parking lot, or other of these long-term maintenance items, then they're having to increase the fees in order to get the money into the reserves. Since most of the condominiums in Cocoa Beach and Cape Canaveral are over 25 years, they're having to do the milestone studies to ensure the integrity of the building is there. They're looking at the concrete work to make sure they're safe and sound. If there are issues with that, then they'll have to do the second milestone study, which would mean concrete work, which of course means if they're going to have concrete work, they're going to need to have assessments in order to pay to get the building back to being safe and sound. And this isn't a concern for every condominium that's here in Brevard County. There have been some condominiums, they've been great in keeping the reserves fully funded. They've been doing these integrity studies just to confirm that the buildings are in good shape and doing the repairs along the way. And not every building is going to have these big assessments, but there are going to be a few of them that will. The anomaly I'm seeing is what's happening with the average sales price and the median sales price of condominiums beachside. Average prices are still up over what we've seen in the past, comparing this November to last November. Median prices have kind of flattened out. We are slightly behind what November 22 numbers are. And because of all this, I'm anticipating some changes with the condominium market. What do you think? I hope you found this information helpful. If you have any questions about what's happening with our housing market or an upcoming move, remember I'm here to help. I'll have a link in the description below that'll take you to my calendar. We can schedule a call, or you can find my contact information there as well. My name is Eric Larkin with Real Brokers. I appreciate you stopping by, and I'll see you on the next show.